What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a hot minute since I've made a video. 2 months, 3 months, I don't know. November was the last video I put up. It was SEMA. I went up to SEMA first weekend of November. Jumped off a building. That was fun, exhilarating. If you guys haven't seen that video, go back, check it out. Watch me jump off a building and scream. It's entertaining. Anyways, I'm finally back out here in the garage, which I've been putting off forever, mainly because I didn't have parts. So if you guys remember the last video we had on the car, I took out the transmission, we tore it down to figure out what I did. And a little light here somewhere, but if you guys look down in there, you can see on the counter shaft, all the teeth are gone. Right here on the ring gear, teeth are gone and eaten, and yeah, it's messed up. So parts cost money, and you know, I went to SEMA and we had Christmas, and I'm not too good at saving, so you know, I kind of kicked the rock down the road on fixing this thing. But bang, finally ordered the parts, finally got them here, M Factory. So we've got our 426 final drive for B16A2, which is what this is a B16 transmission. So pop this box open, show you guys what we got inside. So new synchro springs. Obviously these don't come with the final drive assembly. I just put them in the box so I didn't lose them. But I had to order new synchro springs. I know I have some somewhere in this garage from my old SI, but I looked for them and I couldn't find them. And I don't know, I'm sure I'll end up finding them as soon as like I go to put this in or something, but you know, whatever. I ordered new ones because you guys remember right when we tore the tranny open, this one, it's seen better days. So I had to replace that synchro spring. Give us all kinds of stickers, so that's cool, you know, pretty dope. More stickers, and then new counter shaft, new ring gear to replace that shredded counter shaft down here, and our Bobo looking ring gear. So that's what I'm doing today, guys. I'm gonna try to get this thing fixed, try to get at least get it apart, clean up all the metal that's in there, and then we got to tear down the counter shaft. So this is counter shaft, this main shaft, the counter shaft, which actually reminds me I got to get the bearing just in that side of the case out of there so I can go back on here. But I got to pull, basically from what I've read, because you guys don't remember, it's the first time I've ever done this, and I don't really know what I'm doing, but I've read enough to kind of know what I'm doing. So we're gonna wing it and we're just gonna learn. And so basically the change holder's got to get loosened up, as well as the reverse, everything here for the reverse idler gear or whatever. That needs to, all these bolts need to come out, pull that out of the way, and then grab currently your shift forks, counter shaft, or counter shaft, main shaft at the same time, or maybe even the change holder. I think you grab it all at the same time, lift it up, and set it down. Obviously, this has a nut on the top, so I don't have to worry about this one as much as the main shaft. Apparently, there's nothing holding the stuff on the main shaft, so everything can fall off. Got to be careful with that so I don't drop everything. But then we're just going to pull apart the counter shaft here. So I'm having to zip this nut off, and then we'll take each part off one at a time. Probably move some stuff, clean some stuff, and make some room here so I can keep it organized so I know which way to stack it all back on the new counter shaft, which we have in the box. And then basically once the counter shaft is done, we got to pull the diff out. Hopefully nothing's destroyed on the diff except for the ring gear, and hopefully I can zip off the ring gear, put on the new ring gear, torque it all down, shove it back in, put this back in, put everything back in, get the case back together, sealed up with some Honda Bond, and then we can put it back in the car and hopefully get that thing running, because it hasn't been running since I broke it, or at least since I broke it at the track. It'd really be nice to get the thing running. You know, it's winter here, but and it's actually been really cold, like super cold, which is probably another reason I haven't been out here, because it's been cold. Anyways, yeah, it's what, almost middle of January right now, so if I put it off any longer, it's gonna be like springtime, and I'm still not gonna have a transmission in the car. So I had to get out here, try to get this thing done, and I can't go super fast on it because it's my first time, and I do want to learn, and I want to do it right. So some of you watching might have taken these apart several times and know exactly what you're doing, probably do it blindfolded. Good for you. I wish you were here to help me, but you're not, so I gotta do it myself. I gotta learn it, which is probably a good thing anyways, because down the road, if I have to do it again, at least I'll know what I'm doing. So alright guys, so I shut the camera off because, well, I was looking stuff up on my phone and whatever. I mean, I got everything out, but the diff didn't want to come out, and I was like, well, maybe I'm missing something. So I started trying to look stuff up, and then I got to turn the camera back on. Well, diff was just stuck, so I flipped it over here, took my little hammer, which fit right inside the axle seal, and I just popped, smacked it. Diff fell down, and so did a ton of metal. I heard it. So I figured, since I didn't have the camera going, I should probably grab it, turn it on, we'll flip the case over, and then we can take a look at all the carnage on the inside here. And then I got to reset this table because there's stuff everywhere. It is a mess, and we got to stay organized. So let's flip this thing over. Oh yeah, I don't know what you guys can see. I might have to adjust our camera here, but definitely metal that fell out on the top of the diff here. Hopefully that didn't destroy anything. Hopefully it just worked its way there and sat there. To inspect this, but you can see the ring gear. Ain't got a whole lot of teeth left on that one now, does there? Look at, there's the counter shaft. Teeth are, will this stay if I let it go? Teeth are, I mean, they're straight up gone on that thing. They're just toast. So, case, well, let me get this diff out of the way here quick. Yeah, hold on. I'm just gonna set you here like so, and you can just wait a second while I show you what I'm doing here. Just gonna move the diff right there so it's out of our way. We got all this metal laying down here. Look where it is. Clean this case out. Here, I'll get the case set up for now, somehow, one way or another here. Bingo bango. Keep going through like 50 sets of gloves, because I'm trying not to get the camera dirty. And they're singing the national anthem. Football game's about to start. And there we are. Alright. Ah, stay. Come on. Alright, can you guys see? Hope you can see. So, I'll peel off another pair of gloves here. Grab my phone, we'll just use this because I think my flashlight's in the house. Yeah, so what are we looking at here? A lot of metal. Definitely a lot of metal. Hold on, I'll grab the camera. I'll bring you guys along for the ride here. Lots of metal in here. The case definitely got chewed up, but the bright side, I don't see any holes. I don't see any giant holes. I don't see any giant cracks. Obviously, this is just an initial look. I'm gonna need to brake clean the living crap out of this thing and verify that everything looks good and clean and all that jazz. Probably have to pop that axle seal out and just get a new one. Well, maybe not. Might be able to just spray all the shit off it and it might be fine. I don't know. Yeah, I think my magnet, I don't know, maybe it fell out. It was in there. It must have fell out. Say, I might need a new magnet. I was looking at this center bearing deal that's here has a little bit of wear on this ring in the center. It's a little chewed up, so I might need to replace this, possibly. To take a look, see if I can get one coming. And if that's the case, I mean, we're not going to be rebuilding this today, but, you know, honestly, when I got this thing out, back in whenever it was, October, I probably should have just ripped it all down completely, because then I would have really known exactly what I all needed. But if this is indeed the only thing I need to order, it won't be that big of a deal. So yeah, I think it's just gonna be a lot of cleanup now, and cleanup, inspection, pulling the chunks of metal out of here. Nice, that's a tooth. Then I gotta clean up the bench, because the bench is a disaster. I clean this off, inspect my limited slip, make sure everything on this is good. I mean, other than the ring gear, obviously, because we know that's shot. The main shaft out. I did inspect the main shaft when it was still in there, and everything looked good on it, except for the one. I don't know if it's on the main shaft. Might have been. I don't remember if it's the main shaft or counter shaft, but one of them that synchro spring came out of. So I got to figure out where that goes. It's probably in under the collar here or something. But anyways, I got to figure out where that goes. Got to get a new synchro spring in here. This should be fine. This is effed. This is effed. This is hopefully all good, except maybe that bearing. Inspect the rest of it, and hopefully we can reassemble, get it back in the car, and I don't know, fire it up, do a burnout or something. But I'm gonna probably go back to the time lapse and start cleaning and inspecting all of this. And then I'll touch base with you guys once I figure out if I have to order parts, or if we can just start stripping down the counter shaft and the diff. I mean, in reality, we could probably do that anyways. But, well, maybe. I mean, I could still assemble this, I suppose. And we could do that in this. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like you just do it all at once. You do half of it now and you have to order a bearing. I don't know. I mean, football's on. I kind of want to watch football. I don't know. Anyways, I gotta clean this thing. Alright guys, I went ahead and got the puller on there. We can get these things to come up here. Seems like it's coming pretty easy. I know Jake was not wrong. Yeah, it comes off. They come pretty easy. Try not to drop everything so it doesn't fly in. I don't know which way it went. Like that. Shit.
I'll have to ask my accountant about that.
So I was trying not to do. Okay, so we got this bearing here. It sits on top of this. And that all set just like that. Now if I can keep it like that, we'll know which way it goes, right? And there it is, guys. There's the broken counter shaft, all smashed to shit. So now it's time to get the new counter shaft, stack all this stuff back on. All the bearings are on there. It's probably more oil than it needs, but you know what? Better to have more than not enough. That's what I like to say. And nobody ever went wrong having too much lube. Lube's your friend. All right, so next. The roller bearings are falling off because I am not being smart at the moment here. Really don't want to take this stuff apart. I just want to set it on. Maybe I can some oil in there. Can I get this all just to drop in? Drop on? Probably not. Is that how that goes? I don't know. Honestly, I'm not sure.
3 hours later.
Alright guys, so didn't film it because, you know, GoPro batteries are dead like usual. But, and whatever. I just did it. It was kind of a pain. I got it in here. I almost forgot to stake that. Glad I seen that. But, I got the gear sets dropped back in. I also didn't film. I said I was not going to have to take part main shaft. I actually did have to take part of it apart to get down to that synchro spring. Got that replaced, put it all back together. I've got both stacks in here now. All the shift rods are in. They're in a neutral position. So now I just got to put the change holder back in, the reverse idler gear, and tighten all of the bolts down, and that should be it. And then we can... Oh, I have a new magnet too. I did order, because I don't know if this thing even had a magnet, to be honest. I don't think it did, because I did not find this in there. So I, unless this thing got blown apart. But anyways, I bought a new magnet. So that just sits down in there, tap it down. I'll put my new magnet in. There's the part number for the magnet if anybody needs it. And yeah. And then we can, I got to clean the top casing still, or make sure that's clean. But in theory, we're really close to being able to put the two halves together. So yeah, I'm going to get the change holder in and the reverse idler gear, which is down here, and go from there. So let's get at it. Okay, guys. It is currently 1:29 in the morning. I'm freaking tired. But this thing is together. And, yeah. Not gonna lie. Ran into some problems. Alright, since the GoPro just wants to keep dying every time I try to use it, I'm just gonna use my phone. And yeah, so trying these together. It's assembled. There it is in all its glory. Put together. So it's together. All the bolts are tight. All the bolts are in. Where I ran into the issue, and I'm going to show this, even though I'm not proud of it. It's right here. As you can see, something's missing. Yeah. So last time I used a torque spec, because torque specs don't work for shit when you're dealing with aluminum. Freaking broke the threads off. Fucking trash. But the plug still grabs 3 threads down in there or something, and it still gets snug. So I just loaded the Honda Bond on there, snugged it up. So it should ride. Should be fine. We'll find out. If it leaks, worst case scenario, if it leaks, the transmission comes back out of the car. I have an LS transmission over there. I can pull the top case off, swap it out. Why didn't I just swap it out right now? Because I didn't want to. I just want it done. And I've heard and through research learned that this method works. So don't worry about it. But anyways, yeah, it's 1:30 in the morning. I'm going to have my land shark and I'm going to go to bed. So that's it for tonight and probably the end of this video because I don't even know how long this video is at this point. And yeah.
The next morning.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another great episode of me trying to fix my Honda Civic. So in the last video, or a clip ago, wherever I cut the video off, I don't quite remember. I put the tranny back together, fixed it, put it back together, and well, we're gonna hope it works. But today, putting it in the car, and I already saved you guys all the boring footage of me struggling. And when I say struggling, like struggling for a while, and then I finally just, I don't know, turned on some. It's like being at the gym, right? Like if you're just in there listening to somebody talk on the TV, like you can't get in a full set, like you just don't have the motivation. But like as soon as you put on like a banger song, you know, like, and you just start vibing with it, like you could do anything. You're unstoppable, man. Like you could bench press a freaking building or a taxi, I don't know, Cadillac. Well, that's pretty much what happened. I was like, yep, watching YouTube, struggling at training, turned on some old, I don't even know, 50 Cent or something, and got it in there. So as you can see, I'm working on it right now. Just got it in there, just threaded in like 3 bolts. So I'm gonna grab the ratchet now and snug up the bolts, get the mount, the tranny mount on the transmission, and then use the jack, lift it up into place and get that big bolt through the tranny mount so that it's in there, and then start putting this thing together. So set you guys up here on the tripod, and we're just gonna, I'm gonna time lapse this, and we're just gonna get this thing together and see if we can get it fired up tonight. So here we go, back to 50 Cent.
dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this demon. Got a taste, can't erase bitterness in my face. Work a job every day till your dreams fade away. Like a card, never change, play the game that we say. I need a